Change was coming. Everybody thought that Russell Westbrook would be a saving grace, but he is completely washed up. One of the worst things someone can do when talking about the game of basketball or sports in general is jump the gun. And that's exactly what I did when talking about Russell Westbrook. I knew about the quad injury and I knew that he was jumping in and out of the lineup, but still, when I was watching Russell Westbrook, I was watching something that I had never seen before. I've seen Russell go through slumps, I've seen him had bad games, and I've seen him even play injured, but nothing was quite like this. I made a video saying that Bradley Beal should demand to be traded anywhere else because there is nothing worse than being in Washington right now, and I would never say that about one of Russ's teammates because I know that Russ is on their team. But this was the one exception to that rule because what I was watching was not just a guy that I thought was completely declined, but a guy that didn't even look like he wanted to play. It wasn't just the missed shots, it wasn't just the decline in athleticism, it was just his mood when he was playing. He didn't look like the same Russ. He didn't look like the guy that would go into Chesapeake Energy Arena and pump up the crowd every night, the guy that runs across the court clapping his hands. He just didn't look the same, and normally I would never jump the gun and say something like Russell Westbrook has fallen off or he's washed up, but I just couldn't help myself in this situation. I've never seen him play this bad for this long, and granted it was only 9 games, but that tells you right there, I've never seen him play this consistently bad and this inefficient. Even at his worst, Russ is going to give you 100% energy, 100% effort, he's going to bring the ball up on the fast break, and he'll make a difference for your team. And it just looked like this time he wanted to do those things, but he just couldn't. He wanted to, but his body was telling him no. And of course, that's exactly why. He had the quad injury, so that explains it. But still, even in post-game interviews, I know Russ isn't going to be the type to make excuses, but he was saying that he was all right. He was saying, well, I'm okay. He didn't look sure of himself, but it also just looked like he was losing his confidence, something I'd never seen from him before. And I've seen Russ play through some of the worst injuries, and even then, he never looked this bad. But again, he is getting a little bit older, so I guess it's safe to say that his injuries are just affecting him more. It's not that he's more injured than he's ever been or he's just washed up, it's the fact that he's injured and he's not able to just play through it like 26-year-old Russ would. But then came the game against the Brooklyn Nets. Now granted, this isn't the first good game he had, it's just the one that's getting all the attention. He played good the game before, but that still wouldn't prove that he isn't washed because even washed players can have a good game. But in this game, the same way that Russ made me think he was washed in the games before, he completely proved me wrong. It wasn't just the scoring because the Nets defense isn't good, and it wasn't just the rebounds and assists because he gets those all the time. It was the way he went about it. He guarded KD, he made the right plays, he was a great teammate, he gave 100% energy and effort again, just like he used to. And even when Bradley Beal had his doubts and he didn't want to play, Russ made him play. And I don't want to jump the gun again in the opposite direction, but I do think this is a turning point for the Washington Wizards. Whether they make the playoffs or not remains to be seen, but I don't think you're going to see a league worst record from them. But if you're a Beal, Russ, or Wizards fan, they gave you a reason to have a little bit of hope. And in a season like they've been having, that actually means something. But I want to hear from you guys. Do you think this is a turning point for the Washington Wizards, or do you think it was a fluke? Also, how well do you think Russ will play the rest of this season, and do you think he will make the All-Star team? Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for more NBA content just like this. And I'll see you in the next upload.